Hi, my name is Atif and welcome to 19th part of Real Estate App Development series. In this part, we will show the properties that we have added to Firebase. So, let's start by opening the project in Android Studio. We need to show the properties in the home fragment. So, open its layout file, that is fragment.home.xml. Since we need to show the properties in the list, so we will add the recycler view with width and height match parent. ID of this recycler view will be properties recycler view. After setting the ID, we need to set the layout manager, that will be linear layout manager. After that, we need to create a layout file for the recycler view item. Right click on layout folder, click new, click the layout resource file. Name of the file will be raw property. After that, click the OK. We need to replace the constraint layout with the card view. Material card view. Width will be match parent and height of this card view will be wrap content. After setting the width and height, we need to set the corner radius of this card view, that will be 8 dp. We also need to set the content padding using card use compat padding with value true, and content padding will be 10 dp. Inside this card view, we will create a relative layout, but before doing that, we need to set the stroke width, that will be 0.5 dp. Now we will create relative layout with width match parent and height wrap content. Inside this relative layout, we will create another relative layout for the image view. Width will be 110 dp and height will be 130 dp. ID of this relative layout will be profile relative layout. Now inside this relative layout, we will create an image view. Before doing that, we need to set the margin from and 10 dp. Now we will create a shapeable image view with width and height match parent, and ID of this image view will be profile image view. Now to show the sample random image in this image view that will only show in layout preview, we will use tools source instead of Android source. Create the attribute in the root layout. Now we can use it, tools source, and use the built-in property add tools sample background scenes. After that, we need to set the scale type, that will be center crop. We also need to apply a shape with rounded corners using the property shape appearance overlay, and style is available in styles.xml file with the name image style corners rounded. Later on, we will show a favorite button in this relative layout. Now, after this profile relative layout, we will create our text view to show the title of the property. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. ID of this text view will be title text view. Now we will apply a style to this text view that is available with name title medium and is part of material 3 theme. We also need to place this text view to end of the profile relative layout, and we will show sample random text in this text view using tools text instead of Android text. Length will be 10. We will bound this text view to show the text in a single line using the property max lines with value of 1. We will also use the property ellipse size, and this will trim the text from the end and show 3 dots at the end of this text view. Similarly, we will create another text view with width match parent and height wrap content. ID of this text view will be description text view. We will show the description of property in this text view. Now use the style property to apply a style with name body small, that is also part of material 3 theme. We also need to place this text view to end of profile relative layout and below the title text view. After that, we will show sample random text in this text view, same as we have done in title text view. Length will be 10, and we need to trim this text from the end using the property max lines with value 1. We will also use the property ellipse size with value end. This will show 3 dots at the end of this text view. Now we need to show the purpose of the property, for example, rent or sell. We will include it in the card view that will be available with width and height wrap content. ID of the card view will be purpose card view. After setting the ID, we need to set the corner radius of this card view. But before doing that, we need to place this card view at the end of profile relative layout. After placing this card view to end of profile relative layout, we need to place this card view below the description text view. To set the equal margin from top and bottom, we will use the property layout margin vertical with value 5 dp. After that, we will set the stroke size of this card view using the property stroke width with value 1 dp. Inside this card view, we will create a text view to show the purpose of this property text view. Width and height will be wrap content and ID of this card view will be purpose text view. Now we need to apply a style to this text view with name label small, which is part of material 3 theme. Now to set equal margin from top and bottom, we will use the property layout margin vertical with value ATP. Similarly, to set equal margin from start and end, we have used the property layout margin horizontal with value 5 dp. After that, we will use the property tools text instead of Android text to show our text in this text view that will only show in layout preview. Length will be 1, which means it will show 2 words in the text view. Now we need to show the category of the property. So we will copy this card view. After copying it, paste it after the purpose card view. After pasting the code, make sure to change the ID of the card view, that will be category card view. After changing the ID of the card view, we also need to change the ID of the text view, that will become category text view. Now we need to place this card view to the end of purpose card view, and margin from start will be 4 dp. After that, we need to show the subcategory of the property. For that, we will copy this card view, right click, copy, and paste it after the category card view. After pasting the code, make sure to change the ID from category card view to subcategory card view, and change the ID of the text view as well to subcategory text view. We need to place this card view to end of category card view. We need to do some fixes, that is margin vertical will be 5 dp and margin horizontal will be 8 dp. Similarly, we will also change it for the category text view. Margin horizontal will be 8 dp, margin vertical will be 5 dp. In the last, we also need to change it for purpose text view. So far, we have shown the image of the property, title, description, purpose, category, and subcategory. Now we need to show the address of the property. For that, create a text view with width, match parent, and height wrap content. ID of this text view will be address text view. After that, we will apply a style using the property style. Name of the style will be body small, that is part of material 3 theme. We need to place this text view to end of profile relative layout and below the purpose card view. After that, we need to show a sample random text in this text view using tools text instead of Android text. We will set the length to 10, that will show 2 lines of text. After that, we need to make this text view to show only single line. For that, we will use the property max line with value 1. We also need to set the property ellipse size with value end, that will show 3 dots at the end of this text view. Now we need to create another text view to show the date when the property ad was published. Width and height will be wrap content, and ID of this text view will be date text view. Now we need to apply a style using the style property. Style will be label medium, which is part of material 3 theme. After that, we will show a sample random date in this text view using tools text instead of Android text. This date will only show in the layout preview. We will show actual date programmatically. We need to place this text view below the address text view and do end of profile relative layout. Now let's give some margin from the top using the property layout margin top. Margin will be 8 dp. After setting the margin, we need to show an icon in start of this text view. Right click on drawable folder, click new, click vector asset, click the clip art icon, search for the icon with name, time, choose an icon, click OK, rename the icon with name, time, gray. Make sure to choose the color gray, click next and finish. Now we can show that icon in start of this text view using the property drawable start time gray. We also need to set the drawable padding that will be 4 dp. After that, to show the content of this text view in center vertical, we will use the property gravity with value center vertical. Now we need to create another text view to show the price of the property. Width and height will be wrap content and ID of this text view will be price text view. After setting the ID, we need to apply a style using the style property. Style is available in Material 3 theme with name label large. Now let's show a temporary price in this text view that will only show in layout preview. That's why we have used tools text instead of Android text. We will set the actual price programmatically. And after setting the text, we need to place this text view below the address text view and at the end of this relative layout using the property layout align parent and with value true. Let's assign a margin from top that will be 8 dp. Now we need to create another text view to show the price symbol. Width and height will be wrap content. ID will be price symbol text view. After setting the ID, we will apply a style using the property style. Style is available with name label large that is part of material 3 theme. Now we will use Android text and we will add the price symbol in the strings.xml file. Let's create a new string. Name will be price symbol and value will be dollar. Whenever we need to show price symbol, we will use that price symbol. After that, we need to show this text view below the address text view and at the start of price text view. Now we also need to set margin from top that will be 8 dp, same as we have done for price text view. And with that, the UI for the raw property.xml file is now completed. The next step is to show it in the recycler view. For that, open the fragment home.xml file. In the recycler view, we will use the property list item, pass the name raw property. This will show the dummy data in the recycler view that will help us understand how our data will show in real time. I think there is a bug in my Android Studio, that's why it is not showing the dummy data. Right click on application package, click new, click package, type models and click enter. Now we will move the model image picked class in this model package, and after that we need to create another class that is a model class for the property. Right click on models package, click new, click Kotlin class. Name of the class will be model property. Choose the type class and click enter. Now we need to create variables in this model class to get the data from Firebase database. Make sure to use the same spellings and data type as we have saved in Firebase real-time database. That's why we will copy the names from the post add activity.kotlin class open the function where we are saving the data to Firebase database using hash map. Now one by one we will copy the key name and use it as variable name. Variable, copy the ID, paste it here. Type will be string, initialize it with empty string. This is the ID of the property. Now copy the key name UID and create a new variable. This is the UID of the person that published the ad. Similarly, we will create a variable purpose and category and subcategory, title of the property, description of the property, another variable to hold the email of the user that published the ad, phone code that will also of type string, similarly phone number, and another variable that will hold the country of the property, city for hold the city of the property, state to hold the state of the property, and address to hold the address of the property. Another variable of type string with name status that will hold the current status of the property, area size unit. This will also of type string, floors. This will be of type long variable, name will be floors, type will be long, and initialize it with the value 0. Now we need to create another variable of type long, name will be bedrooms, type will be long, bathrooms, type will be long, and initial value will be 0. After that we need to create another variable with name price that will be of type double and initial value will be 0.0. Now we need to create another variable timestamp that will be of type long and hold the timestamp of the property. Later on we will format it to a specific date format. The next step is to create another variable to hold the latitude of the property. Type will be double, initial value will be 0.0. Similarly, we need to create another variable longitude. Type will be double, initial value will be 0.0. And with that our all variables now completed. Now we need to create an empty constructor. Right click, click generate, click secondary constructor. Empty constructor is required for Firebase. Click the select none button from here. This will create an empty constructor. Now we need to create another constructor. Right click, click generate, click secondary constructor, select all variables and click OK. This will create a constructor with all variables as parameter. And with that our model class is now completed. The next step is to create the adapter class for RecyclerView. For that we also need to create a package. Right click on application package, click new, click package, type the name that will be adapters. Now move the adapter ImagePict class in that adapters package. After that we will create another adapter class. Right click on adapters package, click new, click Kotlin class, type the name of class that will be adapter property. Type will be class, click enter. Now inside this class we need to create a view holder class. Inner class, name of the class will be holder property. Create a primary constructor with a parameter of type view with name item view. Type will be view. Now we will extend this class with the RecyclerView dot view holder and use the parameter with name item view which is in the primary constructor of holder property. Now we will use the ViewBinding to bind the raw property.xml file with our adapter class. Private let init variable binding which is of type raw property binding. After that, we will initialize the UI views of the raw property.xml file in the holder property class variable. Name will be profile image view equal to binding.profile image view. Similarly, we will initialize the title text view binding.title text view. After that, we need to initialize the description text view to show the description of the property. And next is purpose text view. After initializing the purpose text view, we need to initialize the category text view. After the category, we also need to initialize the subcategory text view variable subcategory text view equal to binding dot subcategory text view. After that, we need to initialize the address text view that will be used to show the address of the property. After the address, we need to initialize the date text view, and in the last, we need to initialize the price text view that will be used to show the price of the property. Okay, now we need to create a primary constructor for our adapter property class, and that will contain two parameters. First parameter will be of type context, private, value, name it as context, and type will be context. Second parameter will be of type array list of model property, private, value, name it as property array list, type will be array list model property. Now we need to extend our class with adapter property dot holder property. Hover to the adapter property and click implement methods. Select all functions and click OK. Now move these functions after the view binding. In onCreateViewHolder function, we will initialize our binding equal to raw property binding dot inflate. This will require three parameters. First parameter will be layout inflator dot from context, and as a second parameter we will pass the parent which is of type view group, and as a third parameter we will pass false. Now we need to return the view return holder property binding dot root. After that, in get item count function, we need to return the number of items in the recycler view using return property array list dot size. After that, come in the on bind view holder function. In that function, we will get the current model from the array list and get the data from that model. Then we will set the data to UI value model property equal to property array list position, which is the current index. Now we will initialize the title value title equal to model property dot title. Similarly, we have got the description from the model class and purpose of the property. Variable name will be purpose model dot purpose. Category of the property. Similarly, we need to get the subcategory from the model class. Name the variable with name subcategory. After the subcategory, we need to get the address of the property from model class. Model property dot address. Name the variable with name address. Now we need to get the timestamp of the property when the property ad was published. After getting the timestamp, we need to format the timestamp to a proper date format. Create another variable with name formatted date equal to myutils dot format timestamp date. This will require a parameter of type long, that is timestamp. Format timestamp date is a function in myutils class that convert the timestamp to formatted date. Open the myutils class. This class contains that function, and after that function we need to create another function to format the currency function Name of the function will be format currency. This function will require a parameter of type double that will be with name price. Type will be double and return type will be string because we need to return the formatted currency in format of string. To format the currency, we need to create an instance of the number format class value, name it as number format equal to number format dot get instance. After creating the instance, we need to define the maximum fraction digits. Number format dot maximum fraction digits equal to 2. This will show only 2 digits after the fraction point. After that, we will return the formatted currency. Number format dot format pass the price as parameter, which is of type double. We have imported a wrong class for the number format. Remove android.icu.text.number format. Import the class again, that is java.text. Now open the adapter property class again. In that class, we will create another variable to hold the formatted price value. Name it as formatted price equal to myutils dot format currency. Pass the price as parameter. We have got all data from the model class. Now we will start loading the first image from the images list and show in the image view. For that, we will create a function load property first image that will contain two parameters, model property and view holder. In start of this function, we will create a simple log.d. First parameter is the tag that we need to define in class level. Private value tag equal to adapter property tag. Now whenever we need to show logs in logcat, we will use that tag. After that, we will create an instance of the Firebase database reference value reference equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference as a path pass properties. Make sure to use the same spellings as in Firebase real-time database. Reference dot child, we need to pass the ID, create a variable for that value, property ID equal to model property dot ID. Now pass that property ID in that child. Reference dot child property ID dot child images. Since there are multiple images, so we need to get only one image. We will do it using dot limit to first with value 1. Now we need to add value event listener dot add value event listener object value event listener. We need to implement the required methods, that is on data change and on cancelled. In on data change function, we will get image using the loop for ds in snapshot dot children. Loop is usually used for multiple things, but since we have used limit to first with value 1, this will get only one image. Now we need to get the image URL value image URL equal to ds dot child image URL. Make sure to use the same spellings as in Firebase real-time database dot value. Now we will show that image URL in logcat using log.d. First parameter is the tag and second parameter is the message including the image URL. Now we will enclose the process of setting image to the image view in try catch glide.width context dot load pass image URL as parameter dot placeholder pass the placeholder image that will be shown while the image is loading r.driver dot building asset01 dot into pass the image view as parameter holder dot property image view. Now create the catch block that will be called if there is any exception while loading the image. In that case, we will show the exception in logcat using log.e, pass the exception as third parameter. Now come again in the onCreateView holder function, holder.title textView.text equal to title. Similarly, we will set the description to the description text view. After setting the description, we need to set the purpose of the property to the purpose text view and category to the category text view. After that, we need to set the subcategory to the subcategory text view. After setting the subcategory, we need to set the address to the address text view. Now we will set the formatted date to date text view dot text equal to formatted date. Similarly, we need to set the formatted price to price text view. And with that, our adapter property class is now completed. Now we will open the home fragment class and start loading the data from the Firebase real-time database and show in the recycler view. So open the home fragment class that is in the fragments package. First of all, we need to bind the fragment home.xml file with our home fragment class private let init variable, name it as binding, which will be of type fragment home binding. Now we will initialize it in the onCreateView function, binding equal to fragment home binding dot inflate. First parameter is of type layout inflator, which is the first parameter of onCreateView. And as a second parameter, we need to pass the container that is of type view group. As a third parameter, we have passed false. Now we need to return the binding.route. After that, we need to create a tag in class level, private value tag equal to home tag. Now whenever we need to show logs in logcat, we will use that tag name. After that, we need to create an instance of the context, private let init variable, name it as mContext, which is of type context. We will initialize it in the onAttach function, mContext equal to context. Now we will implement a method onViewCreated. This function is called after the onCreateView. Now we will start loading the properties from the Firebase real-time database, and for that we will create a function, private function. Name of the function will be load properties. After creating the function, we will create a simple log.d in start of this function to indicate this function is called. After that, we will create an instance of the Firebase database. Value reference equal to Firebase database.getInstance.getReference. As a path, pass properties. Make sure to use the same spellings as in Firebase real-time database. And now we need to add value event listener, reference dot add value event listener, value event listener. This will require to implement two methods, on data change and on cancelled. Before proceeding further, make sure to call this function inside the onViewCreated. Now we need to define the array list in class level that will hold the properties. Private let init variable, name it as property array list. Type will be array list of model property. We also need to define the adapter in class level. Private let init variable, name it as adapter property. Type will be adapter property. And now in start of the load properties function, we have initialized the array list. And in on data change function, before adding data to array list, we need to clear the list. After that, we will create the loop for ds in snapshot dot children. Instead of children count, we need to use snapshot dot children. Now we need to create an instance of the model class, value model property equal to ds dot get value. Inside the get value, we need to pass the model property class. We have created an instance of the model property class containing the information of the property. Now we need to add the model property in our array list. The process of creating instance of the model class may cause an exception due to many reasons. So we will enclose it in the try block. Move that code in the try block. So if there is any exception, this will not crash the app. And we also need to create the catch block that will be called if there is any exception while initializing the model class or adding it to array list. In case of the exception, we will print the exception to the logcat using log.e and pass the exception as third parameter. After the for loop, we will create an instance of the adapter property class, adapter property equal to adapter property. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the property array list. Now we need to set that adapter property to properties recycler view. And with that, our code is now completed. Run the app in emulator or in real device. In the home section, this will show all properties that are available in Firebase database. Later on, we will filter the properties based on the location and search query and other filter options.